Okay, hello. I'm doing a wrap-up video on the book of Levi. So I've finished the book. Leviticus. It has a lot of chapters. Let's go through some of the chapters. It started off with the burnt offering, the grain offering, fellowship offering, the sin offering. These are all kind of rituals for the priests and how to make sacrifices. The general idea is to have rituals and sacrifice. I mean, none of these things people don't do. People don't burn doves or full animals to the Lord anymore. But we do make daily sacrifices. We sacrifice the things we need or the things we love. And that's what we have to learn to do for God. And there's a lot of other stuff about the priests. Initially, I didn't like reading about the priests, and because it kind of made me feel left out. But even though I'm not a priest, I can still belong to like other things in my life and other organizations, like groups or clubs or like sports teams, things like that, just social circles. So all the stuff about how they should dress and how they should look, it still applies. There was the death of Nodab and Abihu, which shows kind of like a mistake, a ritualistic mistake, because a holy person can still die an accidental death, right? But the Lord took them, and it was basically a burning, because they're burning all these things in the tent at the altar, and yeah, the two people got burned. It was an accident. Then they teach you a lot of stuff about unclean food and infectious skin diseases, because the priests, they became like the scientists or the regulators, so they kept the people clean, and they helped them with skin diseases and like hair problems and things like that. So they've found ways to like clean people and to basically keep them alive and healthy. There's also regulations against mildew and like cleansing for all like mildew, things like that, for like the home, to keep the house clean, because nobody wants a bad dirty house, right? Nobody wants to be sick in their home. They also taught us about the Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement is about basically making a sacrifice for the entire society as a whole, so that everyone's sins together are forgiven. They also made forbidden to drink blood. Blood is bad. You should empty the blood whenever you're eating an animal, because blood is bad. There's also unlawful sexual relations chapter. So basically, he made it unlawful for families, and like basically you can't have relationships with like your sister, your mother, or like your father's wife, or like things like that. Just like basic things, just out of respect, because you don't want to dishonor anyone in your family. It's hard finding someone to love or someone to like be your partner, but you should take your time and just find someone. And then other various laws about seeds and stuff. There was the one law of like not putting on tattoos or marks kind of bothered me, because I have a lot of tattoos, and like I haven't really found any culture that really accepts me for them or for that choice. All I can really do is ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry. But it's like, it's hard to say I'm sorry when I know I'm going to do it again. I have to do it again, because once you start, it's kind of like you leave a gap here or there, and like people tell you, oh, we'll come back when your tattoos are finished, and it hurts. It's like I'm already an outcast, and it's hard to find my place. But that's just one line, one aspect, because the next one, like, there's punishments for sins, and I think I've been punished enough. I've been neglected and just kind of alienated a lot from my tattoos. I know I don't have like stupid tattoos. I hope they're not dumb. But like, they meant something to me at the time. And they have changing meanings. Anyways, then there's like rules for priests and stuff. And then I didn't like that chapter because it made me feel, again, exclusiveness. It kind of shows how like the priests and the priests' families are like better than everyone else's. It's kind of hard to accept, but I mean, the thing behind that is once you have your own family and you have your own kids and grandkids, and like you can start creating some exclusiveness because you want to protect your family, your own blood. You want to protect them and you want them to do better than everyone else. So like, obviously I can understand why Moses did that for Aaron and his sons and stuff. Yeah, and then there's the Feast of Trumpets. They started adding music to like, as part of their worship. First fruits, feasts for weeks, the Sabbath again. And they added the concept of the Sabbath year. There's also a chapter on the blasphemer stoned. I hope it makes me think like I shouldn't speak against what I'm reading. Like, it's my choice, right, to have like my opinion slightly against what I'm reading. But I'm not saying anything bad about God, because everything that happened at the time happened for a reason, right? And yeah, so like, I don't like that chapter because it makes me feel like I'm the person that's supposed to be taken out of society and stoned. I have a really poor self-image. This reward for obedience, punishment for disobedience, redeeming what's the Lord's. The Jubilee year is a new concept too. I've never heard of that. So basically, taking a year off after 6 years, the 7th year, you're supposed to take it off. That'd be nice to just take a year off. I like how the chapter ends because it says, these are the commands the Lord gave Moses on Mount Sinai for the Israelites. It separated Israelites into Israel elite, and I kind of see that in this chapter. But I mean, you have to hold yourself up to the highest importance, right? If you don't treat yourself like an important person, there might not be anyone in your life to